Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. I am meteorologist Tim Kenny, and thank you all so much for joining me right here on Severe Storm Central, where we are watching people rebuild their lives and clean up the damage from their houses after a massive tornado outbreak came through again. The second time within 2 weeks. We had one basically this exact time last week, and we had another one come through just last night. Basically, two identical systems coming through within 2 weeks' notice with massive tornadoes. Absolutely incredible. The National Weather Service is currently out there right now surveying the damage to try and decide whether these tornadoes are EF2s, EF3, or possibly even getting up into EF4 range and trying to determine what wind speeds they were, all right? Look at this tornado. Absolutely incredible. That is probably at least an EF2. Look at the vortices on that tornado. I mean, you can just see all that debris being lifted up way into the atmosphere. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And this was just one of probably over 24 tornadoes that touched down. There was one main system that probably traveled over 130 miles going north to east that passed just to the south of the Birmingham metro area and was a massive tornado. It actually warned a tornado emergency. I've never seen a pink box on the radar indicating a tornado emergency. Absolutely incredible. Here's some of the pictures of the damage. Now, the thing I want you all to really notice about this system is that whenever we talk about tornadoes, we always say that you want to get to the lowest floor of your house. Basement is great. Put as many walls between you and the outdoor world as possible. No windows at all. And this is a great example, right? You can see this whole house absolutely torn to shreds. But when you really look at this house, you can see that basically this whole entire central level is basically, torn apart. But look at this. The lower level of this house is still intact, all right? So obviously, if you were, taking shelter up here, you probably would have lost your lives. If you were down here on the lower level, yes, there is some damage down here, but there is a ton of more damage here on the top level. So you would have had a much better chance of surviving the storm on the bottom level. So that's why we always tell you, whenever there is a tornado warning out, no matter whether the tornado is a massive tornado or is a very small tornado, you need to get to the lowest floor of your house, most interior room, put as many walls between you and the outdoor world as possible, no windows at all. I mean, this is a great example, okay? So whenever we tell you to take shelter, this is what we mean, okay? We're not joking around. We are trying to make sure that you don't lose your life here, okay? Extremely important information, all right? Look at this house, torn apart. I mean, it looks like basically somebody took a wrecking ball from outer space and dropped it on this house. Absolutely incredible the amount of damage that this tornado made. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And once again, a great example that you need to be on the lower level, all right? These top levels are seeing the most damage out of any of this house, all right? Obviously, we're seeing some damage here on the lower level, but there was a ton of more damage here on the top level of this house than there was in the bottom of this house, all right? Once again, we're not joking around here, okay? When we tell you there's a tornado warning on the live television, when we show you the radar, you need to take shelter immediately, okay? Drop everything you're doing. I mean, this is like a drop and run, okay? Drop everything you're doing, get into your safe spot, and take shelter immediately, all right? Absolutely incredible, all right? So now I'm going to show you a video from the Weather Channel. I'm going to actually do a brand new video just so that way you all can hear the sound a little bit better. Not coming from my microphone. But this video is going to show you what some of the damage looks like from a drone shot view from a different meteorologist, all right? Hang on just a second. All right, so watch this video and look at the damage from this drone shot view, all right?
Absolutely devastating videos coming out of Alabama of tornado damage. And a lot of that damage coming from one supercell. That supercell tracked across the state. We're talking well over 100 miles where we had tornadoes.
So I'm going to pause this right here, okay? This supercell right here, you can already see we're getting reports of damage, all right? So watch the supercell very, very closely. It already came through Tuscaloosa, heading just to the southeast of the Birmingham metro area. Watch that supercell extremely closely.
Tornado reports coming out of that one particular supercell. That does not necessarily mean it was one tornado on the ground that entire time.
Look at that damage.
But certainly we could have seen stretches, very long stretches of tornadic activity on the ground.
So you can see, once again, there's so much damage on some of these top of these houses. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You can see that house, let me point it out on my screen right here. This house right here, that bottom level is completely fine. That roof, absolutely torn apart. Get to the lowest level of your floor.
from this particular supercell. Dropping multiple tornadoes is more likely for this very long track system, but it's not out of the question that it could have.
Look at that. Over 123, almost 123 miles, this tornado was on the ground.
Been one. It would have been absolutely up there in the record books if that's the case, as we have seen some tornadoes track over 100 miles, even over 200 miles. But again, those are the record-breaking tornado tracks. This one's still incredibly long.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Paul, you were talking.
All right, so that was just a quick video showing you what some people saw their lives become after that one main system went through over 120 miles distance with one main system just to the southeast of the Birmingham metro area and caused extensive damage to so many houses. You might have been one of the lucky ones. You all saw that some of those houses were not even touched while some of them were absolutely diminished. But it just shows you Mother Nature doesn't ask you whether or not you want your house damaged or not. I mean, it just picks what houses it wants to be damaged and what houses it doesn't want to be damaged, all right? So here's a current look at our system right now. It is way up now to the northeast. The area of low pressure is now over the eastern Great Lakes, but we're still seeing some shower action because this cold front is still lingering across the states of southern Alabama, the middle part of Georgia, and then eventually into the Carolinas, all right? Thankfully, right now, we do not have any severe weather out there, which is a very good thing. But that severe weather will go up again as we go into the late night hours of tonight, because you see this other area of low pressure right here. It has a very small stationary front right there. And what that's going to do as we go throughout the rest of today is it's going to be tracking north very, very slowly and bringing another possible severe threat to northern Alabama and southern Tennessee. All right. Now, if we do see another severe threat tonight, it will not be as dangerous as the one we saw yesterday, but we're still going to be watching for more severe storms, all right? So here's a better look at what is currently going on here across southern Alabama and getting into central parts of the Carolinas. So we do have some decently strong thunderstorms. No warnings as of right now. So no tornado warnings, no severe thunderstorm warnings, and no more damage being reported right now. As I said earlier, the National Weather Service is going to be out there a lot today surveying the damage, determining whether or not these tornadoes are possibly greater than EF2 strength. So there's that system I was just talking about, that cold front still lingering around. And then as I just said earlier, we're going to have that stationary front rise to the north and bring possibly another severe threat, all right? So here's a better look. I just showed you all. There's that area of low pressure. There's that cold front. And there's that very small stationary front. I know it just looks like a warm front because you can't really see the blue triangles on that, but trust me, there is going to be a stationary front that will form, all right? So now let's talk about this weekend, all right? So there's that stationary front. I was just talking about bringing us another severe threat to eastern Arkansas, possibly getting into northern Mississippi and then the western parts of Tennessee. But thankfully, in the areas that were most hard hit yesterday, we should be in the clear for severe weather. We might have a few showers or thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow, but if we do get anything, it will not be as severe as the threat that we saw yesterday, all right? And then going into Sunday, the severe threat starts to push now to the east. So now we're talking about maybe parts of the Carolinas. As far as South Carolina goes, if you live right along the coast in northeastern South Carolina, so places like Conway, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, I don't think you really are going to be getting any severe weather. You have to be just to the north of that, maybe around the P and on the border belt, and that will basically be the exact same thing for you in North Carolina, a little bit bigger of an area of impact, basically all across the state. Now, if we do get any severe weather, I don't think it will definitely not be as bad as the severe threat that Alabama saw, but we still have a shot of seeing a few decent-sized thunderstorms, all right? And then this extends all the way into the northeast and all the way into New England areas, all right? So it'll be a very rainy day for you in New York City, topping out at 63, and Boston, Massachusetts, topping out at 54. And we can still possibly be seeing some thunderstorms lingering around because of the stationary front lingering around in places like Corpus Christi and also New Orleans, all right? So that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for trusting me to bring you up to date on the latest information possible. Once again, I cannot stress this enough. Please be sure that you are staying tuned to both my website and my YouTube channel for all information on every single summer. Right? I'm updating my website once an hour on the latest severe threats on the system on my severe weather page, and all you have to type in on your phone to get to my website is www.liamsweather.org, and it'll take you directly to my homepage, all right? And once again, if any of you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at 621-LDK@gmail.com, and I will answer your questions or concerns to the best of my ability, all right? So as I said, that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all stay safe this weekend and have a great rest of your weekend.